Welcome to the Lakeview Maker. I am the Lakeview Maker. Today we've got a really cozy project. It's going to be a Christmas bauble crochet. So as you can see, we've got a roaring fire. I'm going to be creating one of these today. So we're going to be doing a red and gold. I really hope you enjoy this project and it gets you in the Christmas spirit. Okay, let's get started. So the pattern for this is listed out as colour 1 and colour 2. That's so you can choose any combination of colours that you like. And today I'm going to demonstrate with my red as my colour 1 and yellow as my colour 2. So we're going to start. Now to start this, we need to do a magic circle. So to do a magic circle, we take our yarn, we put it over our fingers and we cross it over. So we will take our hook, go under the first bit of yarn, over the second, twist it round, pull it under, twist it. So I'm going to chain 1. Now for this pattern, you'll probably need a stitch marker as it's worked in the round. So I have one here. Round 1 is going to be 6 single crochets into the magic circle, and then we're going to do a slip knot into the first stitch. Okay, we now have 6 stitches, so we're going to pull this loop closed and then we're going to go back into our very first stitch and we're going to do a slip stitch. So push it through, yarn over and pull through 2. Okay, this is the very beginning of our bauble. So if we chain 1 for round 2, so round 2 is going to be increasing into every stitch. And we're not going to start with the stitch that we've slip stitched into, we're going to start with the next one. So we insert our hook under both loops, we yarn over and pull through, and then we yarn over and pull through. For an increase, we just do 2 single crochets into each stitch. So we have 2. I'm going to mark that first stitch that we did as our first single crochet. So feel free to pause the video, increase in every stitch, and come back when you're done. I'll see you in a second. Okay, so we've increased in every stitch, and for the last stitch we're going to go into that first single crochet we made. We're going to do a slip stitch. This is going to be the method of closure for all of the rounds as we go. So for round 3, we're going to chain 1, and then we're going to do a repeating pattern, and the pattern's going to be, we're going to do a single crochet, and then we're going to do an increase into the next stitch. So this is 1, and 2. Okay, so as I said, this is a repeating pattern. So if you do a single crochet and an increase all the way around till you get to the end, pause the video, I'll see you in a second. Okay, so we now have 18 stitches and we've closed this round. So we're going to do round 4. Round 4 is 2 single crochets and then an increase. And again, that will be a repeat. So always remember at the beginning of every round we chain 1 and then we do our repeat. So that's 2 single crochets and then we're going to do an increase. Okay, like before, repeat that all the way around and then at the end do the slip stitch to close. Pause the video, I'll see you in a second. Okay, we've finished round 4, so you should have 24 stitches. So we're going to do round 5. Around 5, chain 1, and we're going to do 3 single crochets and then an increase. So mark this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 stitches in total, 3 single crochets and then an increase. So like with the other rounds, repeat this all the way round till you get to the end. Close it off with the slip stitch. Pause the video. I'll see you then. Okay, we've done round 5, so we're going to do round 6. So we chain 1, and round 6 is going to be 4 single crochets and an increase, and that should get us to 36 stitches in total. So we've done 1, 2, 3, 4, and then we're going to do an increase. Okay, so like the others, this is a repeating pattern. So single crochet 4 times and then do an increase. Repeat that all the way around. Pause the video. I'll see you in a second. Okay, we've now done round 6, got 36 stitches. So for the next 6 rounds, it's going to be a single crochet all the way around, and that will make this into more of a ball shape, but also it will be with our second colour, so make sure you pay close attention to the instructions. You should see the pattern emerging quite easily. So I'll see you in the next part. Right, so now we're going to do rows 7 to 12, and this is going to involve getting our second colour in. So for round 7, in our first colour, we chain 1, and we do 3 single crochets. So I'm going to insert my needle here. That's 1. Just going to mark this stitch. 1. 2, 3. So now we're going to have a colour change. So when we do a colour change, we don't do a whole single crochet for the previous stitch. We leave it so we still have 2 loops on our hook. That way the top of the next stitch will be the right colour. So we're going to grab our yarn, we're going to hook it, and we're going to pull through. So while we're doing this, we need to trap various ends just to keep everything neat and so that we can keep the tension. So for the next stitch, it's going to be in our second colour. So I'm going to make sure that I trap both of these threads, which is the tail and the red thread, into the next stitch when I do it, and I'll show you. So we go into this next stitch, make sure these are lying over the top, grab our yellow, or whatever our second colour is, and then like before, because we're going to colour change again, we don't finish off the single crochet. So I'm going to grab the red, and this time we're going to make sure we trap the yellow and the tail, and we use the red. So I'm going to pull the red over, pull through, give everything a bit of a tug, make sure it's tight, and then we're going to switch back to this colour and we're going to do 5 single crochets. So we do the next stitch, just make sure the yellow is on top, carry on with the red. So this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 4, 5, and we're going to have a colour change again, so remember, don't finish the single crochet. Now when we do this next part, we can push this yellow tail back because it's been woven in enough that it won't come unravelled. So I'm going to push this back with my fingers. So we will just have the yellow strand and the red strand. Colour 1, colour 2. So we're going to switch back to the yellow and do 1 single crochet. So let's pull this yellow through to finish off this stitch, and then we keep the red trapped. Pull through, don't finish the stitch. Get the red again. It can be a little bit confusing, but if these get a bit tangled, which might happen, you can always, because they're big, quite small skeins, you can just move them around. So I'm going to pull through my red, and then we've got 5 single crochets in colour 1. So make sure I trap the yellow. So insert my hook. 5. Also make sure to keep an eye on your tension, because if everything is too tight, things will start to look warped. Okay, so for this pattern, we need to do these 2 more times, where we do a yellow or a colour 2 and then 5 colour 1s. So feel free to pause the video, do 2 more repeats of this, and then we'll get on to finishing this round. So I'll see you in a second. Okay, we've done it 2 more times, so I'm going to go over it 1 more time just to be completely clear. So we've done 5 in colour 1. We've got our colour 2. I'm going to insert to do 1 single crochet, trap this colour 1 strand, pull through, and then switch back to colour 1. So I'm going to do 5 single crochets, trapping this colour 2 strand, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so we're going to switch back to colour 2. We're going to single crochet again. As you can see, we've got a lovely repeating pattern showing up. I'm going to do that single crochet, and then we're going to switch back to colour 1, finish off that stitch, and now we're going to do 2 single crochets in colour 1, and then we're going to slip stitch into that very first stitch we made with colour 1. So I insert my hook, pull through, and then pull through again. Okay, that's round 7, and as you can see, we've got our little dots of yellow. So we're going to do round 8. So for round 8, I'm going to start in this colour, and we'll chain 1, and we're going to do a single crochet. Remember, leave it open, because we're going to finish it with the colour 2. So we're going to switch to colour 2, pull through, finish that stitch, and then we're going to do 3 single crochets in colour 2. So I insert my hook, pull through. I'm going to mark this stitch that we did first, just to make sure I know where the beginning was. Okay, so carry on. So this is 2. And this is 3. So this keeping the strands encased is a good technique for if you want to do something like a graph gown, where you make pictures as you crochet. And this is good practice for getting the tension right. So we're now going to do colour 1. And we're going to finish off this stitch with colour 1. There we go. So we've done 3 of colour 2, and now we're going to do 3 of colour 1. So 1, 2, 3. So we're essentially going to repeat the pattern of 3 of colour 2 and 3 of colour 1. We're going to do this 4 more times. We're going to get to the point where we start getting around near the end. So pause the video and meet me when you get back there. I'll see you in a second. Okay, we've now done that repeat 4 more times. So we're just going to finish up this round. So we've got to the point where we've done 3 in colour 1. So we're going to switch back to colour 2 and do another 3. I'm going to pull this through. And insert. And now you can see that the ball itself is starting to curl upwards. And we're starting to see more of the pattern emerging. Okay, and then we'll do our 3rd. Okay, and then we're going to switch back to colour 1. Pull through. And then we're going to do 1, 2 single crochets. And then we will slip stitch into that very first stitch we made. So I'll take the marker off with colour 1 still. Insert, pull through, pull through. Okay, so for round 9 we're going to start with colour 2 this time. So we're going to chain 1, and then we're going to do 1 single crochet into the next stitch, trapping this red, and then we're going to switch to colour 1 again and do 1 single crochet. I'll pull this. I'm going to mark this very first stitch we did to make sure I'm keeping track. Okay, so let's do 1 single crochet with colour 1, and then we're going to switch back to colour 2. So then we're going to do 5 single crochets with colour 2. Just 1, 2. This round is essentially like round 7, sort of the colours are inverted. So 3, 4, 5. Now we're going to repeat this colour 1 and then 5 single crochets of colour 2 4 more times. So feel free to pause that video, do this again 4 more times till we get to the end, and we'll finish the round together. So see you in a second. Okay, we've now repeated this 4 times. So we're going to switch back. We're going to insert and do 1 single crochet And then we're going to switch back to colour 2, pull through, finish that stitch, and we're going to do 1, 2, 3, 4 single crochets, and then using colour 2, we're going to slip stitch into that first stitch we made. So insert that in there. And then finish off the round. Okay, so round 10 is essentially going to be the same repeating pattern that round 9 was. I'm going to chain 1 with colour 2, and then I'm going to insert into this stitch and do a single crochet, and then finish that off with colour 2. And then do 5 single crochets. So I'm going to mark that first stitch just to make sure we know that's the one we started with. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then we're going to switch back to colour 1 and do a single crochet. Okay, so like before, we're going to do this 5 single crochet in colour 2 and then a single crochet in colour 1 5 more times. So feel free to pause this video, do the repeats, and I'll meet you at the end when we close this round. See you in a second. Okay, we finished off the 5 repeats, so now we're going to switch back to colour 2. We're going to do 5 single crochets. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and we're going to switch back to colour 1 to finish this off, and we will slip stitch into the top of the beginning stitch we did in the colour 1. So we'll pull through and pull through, and that's the end of that round. Okay, we're going to do round 11 now. So we're going to start with colour 2. So we're going to chain 1, and we are going to do a single crochet into the next stitch, and then we're going to switch to colour 1 and finish off that single crochet. So I'm going to mark this first stitch we've done. So we're now going to do 3 single crochets in colour 1. So 1, 2, 3, and then we're going to switch back to colour 2, and we're going to do 3 more single crochets. repeat this 4 more times. So we do 3 single crochets in colour 1 and then 3 single crochets in colour 2. So pause the video, do the repeats, and then come back and we will finish off this round together. I'll see you in a second. Okay, we've now repeated that 4 times. So we're going to switch back to colour 1, finish off this stitch, and we're going to do 3 single crochets. And then we're going to switch back to colour 2. I'm going to do 2 more single crochets. So 1, 2, and then we're going to slip stitch into that very first stitch we made. Move this red out of the way. Okay, that's the end of round 11. Okay, so for round 12 we're going to start with colour 1 and we're going to chain 1. We are then going to do 4 single crochets in colour 1. So build this, and I'll mark this first stitch we've done just to make sure we know that's the right one. So we've done 1, now we're going to switch to colour 2, finish off this stitch, and then do 1 single crochet in colour 2, and then we're going to switch back to colour 1, and we're going to do 5 single crochets in colour 1. So 1, as before, we're going to repeat this pattern. So we're going to do 1 single crochet in colour 2 and then 5 in colour 1. We do this 4 more times, so feel free to pause the video, get round, and then once you've done it 4 more times we'll finish off this round together. So I'll see you in a second. Okay, we've now repeated that 4 times, so we are going to switch back to colour 2. We're going to do 1 single crochet, and then we're going to switch back to colour 1 and do another single crochet. And then we are going to slip stitch into the very first stitch that we did. Okay, that's round 12 finished. So the hard part's now finished. Next we're going to just use our colour 1. I'm going to decrease and stuff this. So see you in the next part. Okay, we're going to do round 13 now. So we don't actually need colour 2 anymore, so I'm going to cut it and push it to one side. I'm actually going to tie a knot in colour 2. Okay, I'm going to push this in. So for round 13, we're going to chain 1, and then we are going to do 4 single crochets and a decrease. So I'm going to do my first single crochet. That's 1, and I'm going to mark this stitch. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and then we're going to do a decrease. So to do a decrease, we're going to insert our needle in the front loop of the next stitch. So as you can see, each stitch has 2 loops, a back loop and a front loop. We're going to go into the front loop of the first stitch, and then we're going to twist down, and we're going to go in the front loop of the second stitch that we want to decrease. So we're going to yarn over, pull through 2 loops, yarn over, pull through 2, and that's a decrease. So for this round, we are going to do 4 single crochets and a decrease all the way around. So just repeat that pattern until you get to the end. We're going to end this round by ignoring the chain we were in, and we're going to slip stitch into the very first stitch that we've marked. Okay, so pause the video, get all the way around. I'll see you in a second. Okay, we've done round 13, and as you can see, this is all starting to curve inwards. So for round 14, we're going to chain 1, and we're going to do 3 single crochets. So do 1, 2, 3, and then we're going to do a decrease. So insert into the front of the next one, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. So like the round before, this is a repeat. So do 3 single crochets and a decrease all the way around, get to the end, ignore that chain, and slip stitch into the first stitch we did. By the end of this round, we should have 24 stitches. So pause the video, get all the way around. I'll see you in a second. Okay, we finished round 14, so now we're going to do round 15. And round 15 is we're going to chain 1, do 2 single crochets, and then a decrease. And like before, this is a repeating pattern. So just do 2 single crochets and a decrease all the way around until you get to the end, and then slip stitch into the first stitch we did, ignoring the chain. So pause the video, get all the way around, finish up the row, and I'll see you then. Okay, we have now finished round 15, so I'm going to pull this out a bit because we need to stuff this while the hole is big enough for us to be able to do that. So I'm going to grab some stuffing, roll it into a bit of a ball, push it into the bauble. Okay, we've got a lovely round shape, so now we'll do round 16. Round 16, we're going to chain 1, and then we're going to do a single crochet and then a decrease. I like to put my finger in and push down the stuffing while I'm doing this so I don't get caught up in it. So mark that first stitch and then do a decrease. So do this all the way around, single crochet, decrease. You will end up with 12 stitches, and I will see you then. Okay, we're going to do our last round. So for our last round, we're not going to chain 1 because we want to close everything up. So for this one, we just do 6 decreases. So we decrease from 12 stitches to 6 stitches. So we just insert into the 2 loops, and we just do that all the way around. So pause if you like, I'll see you in a second. Okay, we've now finished, so I'm going to cut a tail that's long enough to sew everything together. So we pull this through, grab our needle, we thread it through, and we're just going to go in and out on the front loop of each of these stitches to close up the round. So I'm going to go around a couple more times, and I'm going to pull it, And then I'm going to insert through the little nub a couple more times just to make sure it's secure. And then lastly, through the top, push it through the other end. Make sure you pull it kind of tight, cut, and then the yarn should disappear. So last thing we're going to do is we're going to make a little, we're going to get a bit of thread in order to hang this off the tree. So I'm going to cut off a length, do it however long you like it. I'm going to sew it through the top of the bauble and then take off the needle. Now we tie a double knot into the top of this. Make sure to pull it tight. And then we are going to cut off the extra. And we're going to pull this round to hide the knot inside a little bit. Okay, and here we've made a Christmas bauble. Congratulations, well done. You've made yourself a cozy Christmas bauble. We really hope you enjoyed making this. Please visit our Instagram page at Lakeview Maker or our Facebook page and post photos of what you've made. That would be great. If you could leave us a review on our website, that would be fantastic. Just visit lakeviewmaker.co.uk. Thank you again. Hope to see you soon.